Adankelmo, the second character alongside Lightbringer. And you know, is it just me or does she look very similar to Rachel? And your boy managed to pull Rachel as my first SSR in this banner before I managed to get Adankelmo, which is so ironic. Now, I may sound dumb when I say this, but I heard a while back that some people were saying that she's Rachel, which I don't really understand because I thought Rachel lived like many years ago before Matthew was even born. I actually do kind of read the story, but I'm not really like fully invested into the story. I just kind of like skim it. So if you guys don't know what she's all about, her talent allows her to increase her damage dealt, which does cap out at 30% when she's at 6 stars. After she ends her turn, she can apply Portal, and the first portal has a 4 block range from within her, and then the second portal is within 2 blocks of her. And these portals are actually terrain effects, but what it does is that if any allies end their turn on these portals, they are teleported to the other side, to the second portal. And if enemies are within 3 blocks of these portals, they receive 1 debuff after taking action. And I'm pretty sure it's just a weakening debuff, so they won't get something like being silenced and stuff like that. These portals does actually last for 3 turns, and each ally can only be teleported 1 time every turn. And after casting a portal, it can be cast again every 5 turns. But at 6 stars, every 3 turns, she can apply another portal. And whenever she does actually have these portals on the field, she gets 2 extra range. So she does want to be at 6 stars so that she can keep on constantly having those portals up. And what that also means is that she gets more extra range. Yeah, that's one thing that kind of really sucks about her talent. For the class mastery stones, for the armor you want HP, int, and defense, headwear, HP, int, magic defense, and then weapon and accessory, HP, int, and skill. Now for the arena stones, there are 2 options that you can do. If you want her to be more defensive, you want to have something like HP, int, defense, crit resist down, and crit damage down. The second option, you can go more offensive with her by having HP, int, skill, crit rate up, and crit damage up, if you're not really worried about her surviving a whole lot of stuff. For her main soldiers, Sorceress is one of the best ones you can use on most mages. Crystal Warlocks is another great one, I would say mainly for PvP, and there's also the Fairy Spirit Prophet, which helps to lower reflect damage. But most of the time though, you're really going to be using the Sorceress the most, and for PvP, definitely the Crystal Warlocks. For a weapon, Blue or Red Moon is great on just about any mages, or you can also use the Scepter, which gives you extra range when using a single target skill. But other than that, anything that increases her int will be just good enough. For her armor, Tenyo's robe or the Death's new robe. If you don't have any of these 2, then anything else is fine. For her helmet, Tenyo's helmet, it's great for a lot of reasons, but anything else would be fine if you don't have one of these. For the accessory, I have the drop near for PvP reasons. But something else you can do is the Dimensional Jewel, which helps reduce the skill cooldown when she attacks with a skill, or you can do the Star Earring, which is pretty great for PvP especially. Otherwise, anything that helps increase her int will be good enough. For the enchants, Clock, Breeze, or Magic, they're one of the best enchants to use in general. But I would say the best ones to use are Clock or Magic. For PvP, if you have the drop near like I do, then you can use Thorns. And you guys seen videos with these 2 combination, then you guys would know how scary that is. And if you guys don't know what drop near does, it pretty much reflects range attacks by like 30%. Alright, so hopefully you guys now have a good idea on how to build Adankelmo. So let's begin the first awakening stage. Alright, so here we are, we're going to be facing against Zerida, Matthew, and Wetam. Now for the skills, you can go with single target ones, especially these 2, Holy Word and her unique 2C skill, which allows her to heal herself. If you guys have trouble killing them, then like I would always recommend, bring AoE skills to weaken them. And then for the soldiers, the Sorceress is great in general, same thing with like Fairy Spirit Prophet, maybe even Crystal Warlock, although they won't help like damage wise. But you can go with Fighting Monks. These guys don't have melee damage penalty, but these guys will actually help you kill off Zerida pretty easily since Zerida is all demon. But I will be using Sorceress because I'm sure that most of you guys will have these guys more upgraded than anything else. Alright, so with Zerida, you can actually just one-shot it with Holy Word if you are able to survive from 2 blocks. Otherwise, you can just step back and then place her gates, so that way she has an extra range. So you aren't really at risk of having Adankelmo being killed. but my Adankelmo was able to survive from 2 blocks, so it wasn't really too much of an issue. And after killing Zerida, you just make good use of these gates by attacking them from far away, although I will still be in range of these enemies. But if you have the Scepter, then it should really be a breeze taking out Matthew and Wetam. And then Wetam, I'm just going to use Holy Word. Scepter really helps out a lot, especially if you aren't able to one-shot Matthew because he is using the Angel Soldiers. And those guys are able to tank magic attacks really well. So yeah, use the terrain to your advantage if you're having trouble with this, or use AoEs to weaken them and then finish them off with a single target attack. Now for Thxs. As a 4-turn cooldown, as a passive, whereas after taking action, if she has not attacked on a turn and is on her portal, then she can move 2 blocks and be able to act again, and buffs on her do not lose their turn duration. But it does have a 3-turn cooldown before it can take effect again. When using the skill, it's an AoE skill that can be used on herself or on her portals that has a 4-block range. It applies 2 random debuffs and applies a special debuff called Delusion. If the enemies are within 3 blocks of your portal, after they take action, they receive 2 random debuffs that cannot be dispelled, that lasts for 2 turns. Also, if the skill hits 3 more enemies, then the cooldown is reduced by 2 turns. Now this 3C will help her quite immensely. Definitely have this on her at all times, so that way she can always be able to act again. Well, she can't always, but you guys know what I mean. It just gives her that chance to be able to act again. Alright, so if you guys are curious, this is her skill animation right here. Alright, for her second awakening stage, the characters you get are really good. I'm not gonna really repeat myself like I always do. I'm just gonna cut it short and simple and say, just keep on trying again and again until you get lucky, because eventually you'll get it. The other 3 characters you get to use are really reliable. So yeah, second awakening stages are always gonna be easier than the first one. So yeah, I'll see you guys for the showcase. You know, I wish her act again skill from her 3C passive was part of her talent. It's just my opinion, but I feel like it could have been something else better. But as you guys can see right here, there is 3 different places that she can place them on: herself and on her portals, which does have a 4-block range. And other stuff they can do is like hit 3 more enemies, it has its cooldown be reduced by 2 turns, and a special kind of debuff. Okay, so let's try it. I'm just gonna have her teleport so that she can reach at least 3 person right here. I'm not gonna really worry about her getting killed. I hope she doesn't get killed. Okay, yeah, so 2 debuffs and a special kind of debuff. I'm hoping that she doesn't die right here. Okay, there goes those debuffs right there. Jugglers should have like 2 buffs or debuffs that cannot be dispelled. Oh no, okay, so I read that wrong. Okay, so they got 2 extra debuffs. But the Delusion debuff is just the one that cannot be dispelled. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but it looks like it's only like weakening debuffs. But yeah, she did hit 3 more enemies right there, so it did get cooled down right there. And the portals. Okay, so I really wanted to talk about this. I wanted to say in the intro, but I figured it would be better if I showed you guys in the showcase. So if you guys didn't know already, these portals will not just let your characters act again like Adankelmo does. For Adankelmo, she needs her 3C in order to act again on her gates. Other characters, like let's say Sophia, if I end her turn on this portal, she will just teleport, end her turn, and then that's it. That's all that happens. But characters with act again skills like Jintoki will make very good use of these, since they can act again on the first gate and then reposition themselves on the second gate and then be able to move again. So yeah, if you guys didn't know already, that was something I really wanted to show you guys, since some people may not really know about that. This really helps Rush Team to perform so much more effectively. And that's all she's really ever used for, is her gates. Nothing else about her is really all that special. I mean, like, yeah, her 3C is good, but mainly her 3C passive is what makes her even better, because it gives her that chance to be able to act again. And if you think about it, it kinda is like underwhelming. It really is underwhelming that she needs her 3C in order to have that. Like I said, I really wish that it was part of her talent, because the thing about her gates is that she can't place it on the tile that she's on. So there's no way for her to act again on that same turn she's using those gates. And Adankelmo does want to be at 6 stars at least, or maybe 5 stars at best, so that she can always keep on applying her gates, because that's how she's able to have more extra range. So if you're using her like at 3 or 4 stars, then it would be very hard to have her gates stay consistent. I just wish that Adankelmo was used more rather than her having her gates be the only thing that she's really useful for. And she's not a bad attacker as well. She'll be able to do a whole bunch of damage and be a AoE attacker at that as well. But if you are going AoE with her, then I would really recommend Clock with her since they do have a pretty high cooldown. Like, she has more cons than pros about her. Like, the only good thing about her is that her gates are useful and she's able to deal quite a bit of damage. In PvP, her cons does get overshadowed by her pros, since Rush Team is all about ending the battle as quickly as you can, not giving your opponents time to do anything else that they can do. And also to note that her factions suck. Her Euless faction is the only really good thing about it. I don't really want to hate on this character, even though it sounds like I am. She may not have like a good use for PvE stuff, but for PvP, she will definitely be able to perform a lot more better over there. And there we go. That was Adankelmo's 3C Awakening Showcase. Kinda underwhelming if you ask me. The range of it is alright, and the debuffs, when you activate it, yeah, it can be pretty good because when you use it, it does give like other kinds of special debuffs like being silenced and stuff like that. And the fact that they practically want you to have this on her at all times so that she's able to act again with the gates is pretty forceful. For PvE, she can be alright. She can be like a pretty decent mage for you, but the faction that she has, if you have Landius, and if you're using him as your main tank, then yeah, you can definitely use Adankelmo for a while, but PvP is where she will definitely shine the most. But just remember that you do need characters who can self-act again, because them just ending their turn on the gate will not allow them to move again. So yeah, overall, she's just a average magic attacker, and in PvP, she used alongside Rush Team. I feel like Adankelmo is one of those characters that when you really think about it, they're like whatever, kind of like lackluster, but when you go and actually use them, they are pretty good in the right settings. But that's all I got for you guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and feel free to let me know down in the comments what you guys think about Adankelmo. Do you guys think that she's good, bad? But yeah, thanks for watching. Your fellow Z.